Hello, welcome to yet another video for our weekly ASX Live for the week of 26th of June 2022. And please keep a note of this time and the date which we're recording. This is 26th of June 2022. What we do our regular, we will go through our regular video review of all the XJO index. So let's quickly look at what we're going to be covering up in this video live session. So while we wait for others to join in, if you are able to hear me, type yes, so that I know that you are able to hear me well. So what we're going to be covering up, key takeaway from this live session will be ASX index review, how to survive the bear market. I'll share 3 tips which would be very useful. I have discussed in past as well, but that will help. And I will discuss with you some top stocks which will be of interest to you to review it and what I'm watching and putting in my watch list. Okay, so let's get started. And before that, just do a sound check. If you're able to hear me, type yes. And I would want you to be active audience and just uh, comment on any questions you have while I'm doing the live session. I'm happy to take those questions as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before that, as you know, customary, we will do our disclaimer, because whatever stocks I'm discussing here or chart is all educational purposes. I'm not giving any advice to you, neither any recommendation to buy, sell, and hold. Please consult your financial advisor. And the disclaimer will be coming to your screen. Please read through carefully before progressing further. So let's get started. So this is, let me share my screen and we'll go through one by one details. So let's try and make it okay. Sounds good. So here is our just give a minute. Yeah, we awesome. That's great. Please leave the on the chat box for any questions you have. Quickly, we will go through the XJO, our standard review. We do that regularly. And as you can see here, we have been tracking this as green line as our main indicator for this. And you know that we have an inflation worry, we have all sort of worries which we have come up in the market right now. And I just wanted to take a pause a bit here and understand what's happening with inflation, right? Inflation is because there's a lot of money was printed during this COVID time, and also there's a supply side, buy side inflation going on at the moment. Both, and there was a lot of supply of money which was chasing the fear good, and then the demand increase, and the supply side as well has reduced because of the war, and there's a lot of supply issues and disruption which has happened because of supply chain. So it's kind of created an imbalance across the globe, and it's the first time that the developed nation is seeing close to double-digit inflation, almost close to double-digit inflation, and that is causing a lot of worry. And if you see those countries which are like developing, like India and others, they have been always gone through different high inflation periods. But then what's happening here in Australia, where I am based out of, or US, inflation is just going off the roof, because of which interest rates are going up. And obviously when you have the risk appetite goes low, because now you have other investments where you can go in, and you don't want to be in equity investment because demand will reduce. When demand reduces, what happens? Profitability reduces for the companies. But we'll talk about some of the key aspects in this live telecast of what we can do and how can you survive the bear market. Okay, so let's get started, and I will again share my screen and go through our, and why do we do this analysis is very important to understand what is a trend. And if trend is not clear, then there's no point of doing the investment in specific stock, because we have to be very careful. It's hard to now figure out where the pocket of strengths are. And obviously, as you can see, the next level I'm now, it has been always a, these two big candles are really worrisome from my point of view. It's kind of mariposa for last 2 weeks, and now there's a little bit of buying has come in, but that probably we'll have to see if there's a follow through buying. But any change in trend will be only and above the 7356. Till then, it is going to be sideways market for XJO, and I wouldn't be surprised if other indexes are also in the same pattern. But I would want you to come and tell me if you see any strength in any of the markets. Okay, let's look at the what's happening with the US dollar, and this is very interesting. 10-year bond has little bit. Why do we look at it? Because you need to understand that if yields are increasing, the money will be going in to the bonds, and that is a safer investment. And here there has been little bit softening of it, but again, you can see it is coming to almost high. And if I do all-time high here and click on auto, and if you haven't, subscribed to the trading view, you should do that, because trading view is one thing which you would need, which is one of the best thing you can really do, because at the end of the day it's all about you can just simply go into sbhatia.co/trading view and sign up for a free account, which will definitely help you. And I'm going to come up with a lot of videos which will help you understand how can you use trading view to your best. Okay, so this is the must have tool. Okay, now let's look at it. So that's your US dollar 10-year bond yield, which helps to understand where the money is flowing. And this is AUD USD. So as you can see here, there's a bit of analysis which is, again, I'm not expert in my market, but one thing which I have noticed, every time US dollar um, is getting weakened, what happens to stock market? If I do comparison, let's do a weekly comparison. Right now it's 69 cents, but let's say I want to compare what happened to XJO, and you can simply add plus and do that, and you can see uh, every time, and this is a comparison. So let me delete all the indicators, remove all the indicators, and I will add again. So XJO. So I'll click on the plus icon here and type in XJO, and it's in the same scale. As you can see here, this is in the percentage scale, right? Now I'm comparing the XJO versus the AUD USD chart. As I can see here, the yellow line is XJO, and let's look at the US dollar and AUD. So that will give you more clarity because it's inward, right? Just give me a minute, and yeah, there's some problem with the chart here. Okay, I think this makes sense. So now the yellow is XJO. So now if every time that the USD AUD goes up, there's a correction in the, not, I can't say 100% every time, but again, there's a correlation. You need to figure that out. Every time there is a USD AUD goes up, there is a correction in the XJO, and that's the correlation which I was trying to depict here. Now also, as it is going up, there's a bit of correction happening. So one has to look into that correlation and understand that. Again, that's just an analysis which I want to share with you. Hope that helps. Now, with volatility index also tells us something, right? So let me delete this. So if there is VIX, Australia VIX also tells us what is the volatility, and that's based on option pricing. As you can see here, if if it goes up, like this was a COVID weeks, which means there's a lot of volatility, and then after that it is just hovering around. If it goes above 26, then obviously last week it was, and then there's a correction in volatility, which is good. But if it goes above, then you above 20, then it is a bit of worrisome for me, because then there'll be a lot of volatility, and one has to monitor this as well. Okay, so I hope you understand, and you're enjoying it. If you are enjoying this um, session, please do give a thumbs up, and also give a subscribe to channel, so that you get more such videos and whenever I come live. Okay, and let's quickly now go through our further analysis, which we're saying what are the top 3 tips which I want to share with you for the bear market. One thing, first thing I want you to understand is that if you are looking at, you need to look at the pocket of strength. Okay? When I say pocket of strength, or what it means is the leading stocks. Okay, and when I say this, what do you find the leading stocks? Pocket strength leading stocks means that you need to understand which stocks vis-a-vis the market is correcting less, or finding, they're finding their kind of basis, and you need to look at those based on the relative strength. And you can watch my previous channel, previous video, where I covered this point very much in elaboration, so that you can get acquainted with that. So go through all those sectors, and this is the time where you need to really do a hard work. I always say investing is easy, but really, really tough, in terms of, because it's requires a lot of hard work, patience, and your mind, money, and all this thing has to come together. From that point, it is all about the psychology of how you do that. So mindset and money plays a big role. First is the mindset, and then you apply for money, right? So if you have a wrong mindset, then probably then you will not be able to focus on this. And times like this, where you have, and we're talking about a bear market and all that, which is obviously coming prominent because of the various reasons. But this is the opportunity which we have to take into account. Now, second tip which I want to give you is find the bases or powerful patterns, right? What are the powerful patterns? What are the powerful patterns we have? Such as cup and handle pattern, cup with handle patterns. Study about that, because that is one pattern which tells you exactly, and especially in the bear market when there were stocks were rising and then the base formation happens, that where, and with the handle, proper handle, you need to have the clear. If you really want to know what is a proper technique of finding the cup and handle, type in the comment box below, so I will come up with a live video or create another video to give you examples after examples of cup and handle, cup with handle, so that you can understand and start practicing, right? Patterns are like similar to in a doctor, right? When they have x-rays, and they look at MRI scans, what are they doing? They're actually looking at those patterns vis-a-vis the standard pattern template, okay, of what should be, and then try to find the anomaly, right? And that's what that and that's where the difference comes within good doctor versus bad doctor, or average doctor. I would say bad doctor, average doctor, is that you have to keep on practicing, right? Keep on practicing, and that will help you. And if you have any questions, put in the chat box, then, so that you'll be able to, I'm happy to pick those questions up for you. Let's move on to the our third point. Third point is, which is again, uh, which is super important, is once you find the basis and do that, is look for change in trend in the broader market. Okay, because if you are, you find these bases forming and all happening at the same time, right? So as you're looking at these bases, you're looking at it, you also look at what's happening with the broader market and stay connected with this channel, because I keep coming out with, and I'll be sharing a lot of examples which as I study, that way you will be latching onto those new sectors, because once there's a bull run, there's a bear market where things goes sideways, a downward trend, and then the new sector takes the lead, and you have to find those new sectors and get into those for the wealth creation journey. Okay, so I hope you understand that. So the rotation of the sector also happens. I mean, the outperformers for last bull run will not be the same for the next bull run. It could be. I'm not saying that's not happen, but I'm just going based on the history that has not happened. So we should look at it. What are the new trends, and those pocket of strength is what we need to look at. I hope these 3 points. First being, look for pocket of strengths, find those leading stocks. One could be with looking at the relative strength vis-a-vis the market. Second being, find the basis of powerful patterns like cup with handle or a box pattern, or look at other powerful patterns. And then keep watching Peaceful Weekend Investing latest videos on the trend which we keep coming up, so that you know what is the overall trend of the market, so that you can get benefited out of this journey. So hope that you find it powerful. If you find powerful, type powerful on the comment box below, because that way it also encourages me to come up with live and share with you. By the same time, it also feeds into YouTube algorithm, so that more and more like-minded people can be part of the Peaceful Weekend Investing. Okay, so let's go back to our last point of this live stream, right? And I would just quickly wanted to share that and wrap up is some of the key stocks which I was looking at it. And I will not go through the previous stocks because they're for the time. But one of the stocks we are looking at it is AAC, Australian Agriculture Company. Look at that. It is a defined trend. They define the whole trend, and it is coming in a very strong. Again, there's a resistance at the $3, but then it has given a good breakout. And let's look at the volume. So volume will tell us whether there is a good volume, and look at that. Let me delete all the markings. Yeah. So the stock went in previous rally up to $3, and now again I've not done this, just a technical analysis which I'm doing in all those weekly, monthly, 3 months, 6 months, year to date, 1 year, all has been high. And this is basically production of grass fed beef, grain fed beef, and Wagyu beef. It's operates, so they make mainly in the beef processing. And again, as you know, the prices are going up the roof, so they're probably getting benefited. And there's a big volume which has happened last week, and there's a monthly candle. And let's look at the weekly candle. It's a nice base. I would have seen some, looks like some big investors got in. So this is something which you can, again, it is, I haven't invested on it. I'm just sharing with you. So probably wait and see whether there's a bit of an correction on this, and then we will review that next week again. Then comes is TGR. Again, TGR is Tassel Group. Again, agriculture commodity which is coming up. Not a major trend, but again, there's some big volume buying in, and it's going in a kind of sideways. AVR. AVR is some kind of commercial services. It's again as a small cap, so I think I would be slight, and it's also loss making. So for me, it is an avoid, and it is structural heart company, research develop various medical equipments. So they are into medical equipments. Then comes in Lin. Lin is to with this non-energy minerals, Lindian resources, and they also have it as the stock has been up 5 times, close to 4 times in 1 year, and must be something. And it's mineral exploration again. It's a commodity, so you know the cycle of commodity. It goes up and down is on it, and look at what has happened from the past, right? But surely there was a big volume happen, and there's a big buying happening at the lower levels. It's a penny stock, but worth it is what's going on, is it, and something to watch out for. Again, I don't recommend going with the um, mineral stocks, but mineral stocks are, one has to understand when to get in, when to get out of those, right? So that way you understand that. And so this is another one, HHR. Again, this is again a small cap, again in this resources. But again, these are all stocks which I kept it because they were either 50-week high or they were having good volume. I thought I'll share with you. And with that, I'm coming to an end of this session, of live session. If you're liking our content and you think that we are doing a great job, subscribe to the channel. My name is Shivendra Bhatia. I'm I'm a founder of Peaceful Weekend Investing. We're trying to make investing simple, easy, accessible for busy professionals like you. And that's what I am. I am also working full time, but also I think with small bit of effort, you can become a really, really good investor. And that's the objective I'm going with, and come here and share with my knowledge with you all. And I'm happy to share, for you to um, put your comments on the comment box below. What was your key learning? That will help me also understand whether you're able to benefit out of this. And I just want to tell you the recap of what we did is just 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. So we looked at the ASX index review, how to survive the bear market. What are 3 tips? We discussed that, and also top stocks, which is in my watch list today. I covered all of that. So thank you so much. Have a peaceful investing week ahead, and I'll see you in next video. Till then, happy investing. Goodbye and God bless. Bye.